Hi, I'm Erika, one of the senior curriculum managers here at Magoosh and a GMAT expert. In this video, I'm going to talk about the best practice tests to take when you're prepping for your GMAT exam. Now, taking a practice test takes a lot of time and effort, so stay tuned to find out which test will help you maximize your precious study time. Now, this probably doesn't come as a surprise, but the absolute gold standard for GMAT practice tests are official practice tests. And that's because they're the real deal. They've got real questions, they've got the real layout, they've got the real scoring algorithm, they've got the real question delivery algorithm, all of that. Now, there are 6 of these official practice tests from GMAT available through your MBA.com account. But the really cool thing is that the first 2 of them are totally free. Now, while these are the best practice tests that you can possibly take, they do have their issues, the primary one being that they don't come with answer explanations. However, these practice tests are so popular that you can find answer explanations on the internet if you do a little bit of searching. So I recommend finding some of the most specific words from the question, giving them a quick Google, and you should see results from all sorts of popular GMAT forums. Now, once you're in there, look specifically for replies from GMAT experts. Those are usually going to be branded with some sort of test prep company logo or that test prep company name. Now, you can also read responses from other GMAT students, but take those with a grain of salt. While it can be nice to get multiple perspectives, know that they aren't experts and they might have bad and even fully incorrect takes on the problem. Now, while these tests don't come with answer explanations, they do come with 90 extra official practice questions, which you can practice divided up by question type, by difficulty, etc. Now, these are really awesome as a free resource to practice the sorts of things that you struggled with in your practice tests, so I really recommend taking advantage of them. In fact, I like them so much that they get a special shout out in my new video about GMAT books, even though they aren't actually in a book. Now, once you burn through those 2 practice tests, 2 roads diverge. You can either pay more for S-tier GMAT official content, or go down the road of hunting for free but potentially questionable practice tests from non-official sources. So if you can get a little spendy with it, your best option is going to be those official practice tests 3 through 6, again from MBA.com. Now, these are going to be the exact same experience as tests 1 and 2, just with new questions, and you pay for them. So if you want to buy all 4 at once, it's going to be $90, at least that's the current price. If you want to buy just a set of 2, that's going to be $50. So you get a slightly better deal if you buy all 4 at once, but only do that if it makes sense for you and your timeline. Now, if you're not looking to spend any additional money on your test prep, which is understandable, there are plenty of free options from test prep companies that you can look through. A lot of test prep companies will release one full practice test kind of as a promotional item, and then have the rest of their practice tests behind a paywall. Now, when you're looking for some of these free practice tests, I really recommend doing your due diligence to make sure that they're going to be high enough quality to be beneficial to you. So look for practice tests that are going to be full length as well as adaptive to mirror the actual experience on test day. You can also use those forums I mentioned earlier to read reviews from other students as well as other experts. Now, even with the best of these practice tests, they aren't official. So that means that sometimes the difficulty, the algorithm, the scoring is going to be just a little bit off. So make sure that you're taking your results with a grain of salt. I recommend that if you are going the route of using some of these other practice tests, to take them kind of in the middle of your study experience. So use the first free official practice test to kickstart your study to get a really good idea of your baseline, and then use that second free official practice test at the end as a really clear view of where you are and a great way to kind of get ready to go before your actual test date. Now, another free option is to retake the official practice tests, either the first 2 that were free originally or the 4 that you may have bought later but are then free to retake. Now, this is an option, and it is one that I recommend on occasion, but it is a dangerous game because on your retake, it is totally possible and, in fact, likely that you're going to get repeat questions from the first time you took the test. And if you remember those questions, that can be trouble because it can totally change your experience taking the exam, help you get through sections faster, artificially inflate your score, etc., etc. So I don't recommend this this if you can avoid it. But if you absolutely can't, it can be useful, but I'm gonna recommend trying to spread your initial taking of one exam and your retake as far apart as possible. One, because it raises the chance that you're going to forget about the problems between the first time you take it and the retake, and because it raises the chances that you're going to be performing at a much higher difficulty level, which will mean that you will be fed different questions because, again, they're at a higher level. So again, that raises the chances that the test you get is going to be significantly distinct from the original time you took it. Now, if you've got a really long GMAT study timeline, it's distinctly possible that you'll run through all of these practice tests and still need more, in which case you're probably looking at paid options from test prep companies. So like before, when you're dealing with unofficial materials, make sure that you're really doing your due diligence, making sure that they're full length, that they're adaptive, and that they have good reviews from other students, from other test prep experts to make sure that they're actually going to work for you. Now, as an example of this, Magoosh's online GMAT program comes with the option to take 2 or more GMAT practice tests to help support you in your study. So a final piece of advice, there aren't that many good GMAT practice tests out there, so make sure that you're not wasting them. I recommend not taking more than 1 GMAT practice test every 2 to 4 weeks, and when you do take a practice test, make sure that you have a really clear mission for that practice test. Check out my video on how to never make the same GMAT mistake twice for tips on how to get the most out of your study, including your GMAT practice tests. Let us know if this video helped you by liking, and subscribe to our channel for more videos from me and the other experts at Magoosh. And if you're looking for more resources on the GMAT, check out the links from Magoosh down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.